Capricorn, August 17th, 2026, carries a quiet intensity that may force you to look at something you have been avoiding for longer than you realize. At first, the day may seem completely normal. You may follow your routine, handle your responsibilities, focus on work, and continue doing what you always do. But beneath that familiar surface, something is changing. A decision is approaching. A financial matter may demand attention. A professional opportunity could appear unexpectedly. Someone may reveal an intention you did not see coming. And emotionally, you may finally understand that one chapter of your life cannot continue in exactly the same way. August 17th is not about sudden chaos. It is about the moment when patience turns into a decision. If you are a Capricorn and this reading resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Stay until the end, because today's message reaches into your career, money, love, relationships, emotional world, social circle, personal growth, and the important realization that could change how you approach your future. The day may begin with responsibility. That is familiar territory for you. You may wake up already thinking about what needs to be completed. Bills, work, deadlines, family responsibilities, long-term plans, something that other people are depending on you to handle. Capricorn, you are often the person others trust when things become complicated. When everyone else becomes emotional, you search for the practical answer. When people panic, you create a plan. When something goes wrong, you don't always ask who is responsible. You simply start fixing it. That strength has helped you build much of what you have today. But August 17th carries an important question. Who is taking care of you while you are taking care of everything else? You may have become so accustomed to carrying responsibility that you no longer notice how heavy it has become. Today may reveal that weight, not to punish you, but to help you put down what was never meant to be yours permanently. This becomes particularly important in your professional life. At work, something may finally begin moving. A project that has been delayed could receive approval. A manager may approach you about additional responsibilities. A colleague could recommend you for something important. Client may return. A former professional contact could bring unexpected information. Or you may discover an opportunity that requires you to step into a more visible role. This could initially make you uncomfortable. You may think about whether you are truly ready, whether you have enough experience, whether the timing is right, whether you can handle the additional pressure. But remember something, you don't become ready for every opportunity before it arrives. Sometimes the opportunity is what forces you to discover another level of your ability. If you have been considering a promotion, changing jobs, starting a business, working independently, developing a new skill, or taking on a leadership position, August 17th encourages serious preparation. Don't rush. But don't hide behind preparation forever. You have already spent enough time building your foundation. Now you may need to start using it. A professional conversation could also reveal something important about how others see you. You may discover that people respect your reliability more than you realize. Someone may tell you that they trust your judgment. Someone may ask for your advice. Someone may quietly recommend you. This is significant, because Capricorn often measures success by results and forgets that reputation is also an asset. Your consistency has been noticed. Your discipline has been noticed. Your ability to remain calm has been noticed. And someone may finally decide that they want you involved in something bigger. If that happens, don't automatically minimize yourself. You don't need to say, "I'm not sure I'm good enough." Instead, ask, "What would I need to learn to become good enough?" Then learn it. That is the Capricorn way forward. Financially, August 17th asks you to think beyond immediate comfort. You may have a reason to review your financial structure. Savings, debt, investments, expenses, income, business costs. Long-term goals. A financial matter that has been sitting quietly may need attention. Perhaps you discover an expense that has been draining your resources. Maybe delayed money finally arrives. Maybe a new income opportunity appears. Or perhaps you realize that your current financial strategy needs to change. Don't be discouraged if the answer isn't instant wealth. For you, the stronger energy is building something sustainable. You are not necessarily being asked to become rich overnight. You are being encouraged to create a foundation that allows you to breathe. That may mean saving more, spending less emotionally, developing an additional source of income, investing in your professional abilities, or creating a business system that can grow over time. If unexpected money arrives today, don't immediately turn it into a reward for how hard you've been working. Give some of it a purpose. Your future deserves part of today's success. And if someone approaches you with a financial opportunity, examine everything carefully. Read contracts. Check conditions. Ask questions. Don't let someone else's excitement replace your judgment. A real opportunity will still make sense after you have examined the details. There may also be a hidden financial opportunity connected to a skill you already possess. Management, organization, planning, technical knowledge, business, writing, consulting, leadership. Something you consider normal may actually have considerable value in the right environment. Don't assume that because something comes easily to you, it isn't valuable. Sometimes the ability that feels effortless to you is exactly what other people are willing to pay for. As the day progresses, however, the emotional atmosphere becomes more personal. A memory from the past may return. Perhaps you remember a period when you had to grow up quickly, a time when you couldn't depend on someone, a relationship that demanded too much from you, a career situation where you felt invisible, a financial period when you were afraid you wouldn't recover, or a decision you made because there was simply no other option. You may look back at that version of yourself today and realize something important. You survived. More than that, you built yourself from the experience. Capricorn, you often don't give yourself enough credit for how much you've endured. You move forward so quickly that you rarely stop to acknowledge what it took to get here. August 17th may slow you down emotionally. It may make you look backward, not to return, but to recognize your own strength. You may finally understand that certain disappointments were not signs that you were failing. They were lessons in self-reliance. Some people taught you what trust means by breaking it. Some situations taught you the value of money by taking it away. Some career failures taught you how to build better. Some endings taught you how to stand alone. And now, those lessons may become part of your greatest advantage. This realization can transform your approach to love. If you're already in a relationship, August 17th may bring a conversation about responsibility and emotional balance. You may have been carrying too much. Perhaps you handle most of the practical matters. Perhaps you are always planning, always organizing, always thinking about the future. But your partner may not realize how much pressure you are carrying internally. Tell them. Don't wait until frustration becomes resentment. Explain what you need. Ask what they need. Talk about money. Talk about future plans. Talk about commitment. Talk about what both of you want your relationship to become. A mature relationship doesn't avoid difficult conversations. It becomes stronger because of them. And Capricorn, remember, you don't always have to be the strong one. You can have difficult days. You can ask for reassurance. You can say that something hurts. You can admit that you're tired. Vulnerability does not reduce your strength. It makes your relationships more honest. For single Capricorn natives, August 17th could bring an interesting romantic development. The person may enter your life through work, professional networking, a friend, education, business, or an unexpected social interaction. They may not immediately appear dramatic or overwhelming. In fact, they may seem calm, practical, mature, perhaps even slightly reserved. But something about them may feel trustworthy. And that could become more attractive to you than intense chemistry without stability. You may be entering a stage where you no longer want relationships that constantly keep you guessing. You want something that can actually be built. Something that has structure, respect, consistency, shared goals. If someone new appears today, don't rush. Let them reveal themselves over time. Watch what they do when things are inconvenient. Watch whether they keep promises. Watch how they speak about other people. Watch how they handle disagreement. The person you can build a future with may not be the person who creates the biggest first impression. Sometimes the strongest relationships begin quietly. If someone from the past returns, however, be careful about confusing familiarity with compatibility. You may feel responsible for fixing what went wrong, but ask yourself, was the relationship actually healthy, or was I simply determined to make it work? There is a difference. You cannot build a relationship alone. You cannot carry another person's emotional responsibility forever. And you cannot create a new future while repeatedly reopening the same wound. If the past has changed, you will see evidence. If it hasn't, don't allow nostalgia to make the decision for you. Your social environment may also become more revealing. A friend could offer valuable advice. A colleague may introduce you to someone important. A new acquaintance could become professionally useful. Someone may invite you somewhere you normally wouldn't go. Consider accepting. You don't need to become a completely different person. But sometimes your next opportunity lives outside your normal routine. At the same time, you may recognize that one social connection has become exhausting. Perhaps someone always expects your support. Perhaps they criticize your goals. Perhaps they make you feel guilty for being busy. Perhaps they only contact you when they need something. You may finally decide that the relationship needs a boundary. That doesn't mean you have to create drama. You can simply reduce access. You can respond less. You can stop explaining yourself. You can allow distance to exist. Capricorn, not every boundary needs an announcement. Some boundaries are simply changes in behavior. Psychologically, August 17th may bring you face to face with one of your deepest patterns. The belief that you must earn rest. You may think you can relax after the work is finished. But the work is never completely finished. There will always be another responsibility, another goal, another problem, another task. If you wait for life to become completely manageable before you allow yourself to breathe, you may wait forever. Rest is not a reward for productivity. It is part of productivity. Your mind needs space. Your body needs recovery. Your emotions need somewhere to settle. So today, create at least one moment where you do absolutely nothing productive. Walk without thinking about work. Sit somewhere quiet. Listen to music. Spend time outdoors. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Let yourself exist without measuring your value by what you accomplish. That may feel uncomfortable at first, but it can be deeply healing. As evening approaches, something inside you may become clearer. You may begin thinking about the future in a different way. Instead of asking, "How can I handle everything?" you begin asking, "What actually deserves my energy?" That is a powerful question, because your future doesn't require you to carry everything. It requires you to carry the right things. Your career deserves your discipline. Your health deserves your attention. Your finances deserve your planning. Your relationships deserve your honesty. Your dreams deserve your courage. But other people's expectations? Those don't always deserve your energy. You may also realize that you've been delaying something because you are afraid of making the wrong decision. Maybe you want to leave a job, start something new, move somewhere else, end a relationship. Begin a relationship. Invest in yourself. Change your financial habits. Whatever the situation, August 17th reminds you that indecision has a cost too. You don't always have to know which path is perfect. You only need to determine which path is aligned with the person you are becoming. There is also a hidden warning around overwork. Capricorn, your ambition can become so strong that you forget why you wanted success in the first place. You work to create freedom, but if you become trapped inside your work, the freedom disappears. You earn money to create security, but if you're constantly worried about money, security becomes another source of stress. You build a career to create fulfillment, but if your career consumes every part of you, fulfillment becomes difficult to feel. Balance is not weakness. It is sustainability. And August 17th may be reminding you that a successful life must also be a livable life. By the end of the day, you may feel that something has shifted inside you. Maybe you finally know what decision you need to make. Maybe a professional opportunity has given you confidence. Maybe a financial plan has become clearer. Maybe a relationship conversation has changed your perspective. Maybe you've simply realized that you are tired of carrying things that no longer belong to you. Whatever happens, don't underestimate the importance of that realization. A life can change direction long before the outside world notices. Sometimes the first sign of transformation is simply thinking differently. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop forcing. You stop proving. And you begin choosing. That is where your power returns. Capricorn, you don't need to change everything on August 17th. One decision is enough. One boundary. One application. One conversation. One financial adjustment. One commitment to your health. One decision to stop carrying someone else's expectations. Small choices create momentum, and momentum creates a future. So pay attention to the seemingly ordinary moments of this day. The email, the phone call, the unexpected invitation, the professional conversation, the financial detail, the person who says something that stays in your mind, the old memory that suddenly makes sense. One of these moments may become more important than it initially appears. The future rarely arrives with a giant announcement. Sometimes it arrives disguised as an ordinary Tuesday, and you only recognize its importance later. As August 17th comes to an end, ask yourself, what am I ready to build? And what am I finally ready to stop carrying? That question may reveal your next step. Maybe you are ready to build financial security. Maybe you're ready to build a healthier relationship. Maybe you're ready to build a new career. Maybe you're ready to build a business. Maybe you're ready to build a new identity. And perhaps you are finally ready to stop carrying guilt, fear, old expectations, outdated relationships, and responsibilities that were never truly yours. Capricorn, your strength has always been your ability to continue. But now, your greatest strength may be your ability to choose where you continue. Don't keep climbing a mountain simply because you've already climbed halfway up if you realize it is no longer your mountain. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to choose a different summit. You are allowed to build a different future. And you are allowed to admit that success means something different to you now. August 17th, 2026 may not change your entire life in a single day, but it can change the decision that determines what happens next. And sometimes that is even more powerful. So move through this day slowly and deliberately. Protect your energy. Be intelligent with your money. Pay attention to professional opportunities. Speak honestly in love. Don't ignore your body's need for rest. Notice who supports you. Create distance from what repeatedly drains you. And most importantly, stop believing that you must carry everything alone. You have already proven that you are strong. Now you need to prove that you are wise enough to use that strength selectively. Because the next chapter of your life does not need a more exhausted version of you. It needs a more intentional one, calmer one, a wiser one, a more courageous one, a version of you who understands that discipline is powerful, but so is knowing when to let go. Capricorn, remember this as August 17th comes to a close. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not starting from zero. Everything you have lived through has given you something. Every difficult season gave you endurance. Every disappointment gave you perspective. Every delay gave you patience. Every responsibility taught you strength. And now those lessons are becoming tools for the future. The door ahead may not open because you force it. It may open because you are finally standing in the right place. So don't rush. Don't panic. Don't return to what you've already outgrown. Keep building. Keep choosing wisely. Keep trusting the person you have become. Because Capricorn, the life you have been patiently building may finally be reaching the point where your effort begins to become visible. And August 17th could be the day when you realize that the next chapter is no longer somewhere far ahead. It is already beginning.